been the epicenter and the hotbed really of a lot of change over the years, and especially nowadays. It's interesting to see how Lil Baby taps into the Atlanta right now and brings it to the screen. I mean, that is 2020. That is what it looks like right now in that town. And I think he did a beautiful job of capturing it. I think the lyrics of this thing are just off the charts. He's in Jay-Z territory at this point, Bob Dylan territory at this point. It's bigger than black and white. It's a problem with the whole way of life. It can't change overnight. That's a whole political theory. That's college. I mean, it's to understand it's not just a racial issue. It's a whole bunch of other issues going on. It takes time to change things. There's a level of wisdom there, and I think it just comes out. This generation has seen so much already. They've gone through so much already. They know it's not a simple thing. It's going to take a long time. But that's different than fight the power. My generation, our anthems were all like, we're going to turn it over today. We're going to make change tomorrow. I think this is a new twist on hip hop politics and form. I mean,
descendant of and I don't long taught me how to sew a button as she was sewing that we still use. Her mother slaved. So that's a button. And that child taught me. I'm excited that probably on the other side, Breonna, Mr. Floyd, that was killed, martyrs. We've longed for the progression. We enter into martyrdom. They hope that we enter this to see justice on the front when we're angry. Coming out of this, people that are organizing guys in the time like they are in time, they're make change and you get not protracted campaign. And that's a plot plan strategy to mobilize. You keep doing that, you're off the you're making. And I don't mean capitalize money. These kids are capitalized organizers on the ground who've been working for years campaigning around police brutality have in an instant been able to progress.
Yeah, it's impressive moments. I mean, you mentioned the young people because at the progression, Ferguson and pretty about it the most about what you're now.
It impressed me too. We rioted it's another city, it's in Los Angeles, but there was a stronghold on them who wouldn't let know until after. What's impressed me is we haven't got as efficient as home. You are seeing an age where people are able to get and go. Seeing in what our grandparents and have a house party in which people can on that house party, you can organize people to know what we're going to do in school boards, what are we going to do with city grandparents. Now you're able to do it objectively. I'm impressed by the level because it's an organized 16 years old. We'd have to literally 30 to plan like strike hours or even minutes, but you're there. You can do it, and these young people are able to do it. But that only happens when you train like Floyd or like Mayweather. Following these times.
You dropped the Marty app. Marty, you use it?
I found out about it. Cool Life helped me to what's new. Apps are most right now a house app called Convos, directly back and forth with people, sometimes lost in translation. I'm still over there tweeting with the dads.
Where activism was on this and happened. And there was definitely a lot of particularly the Black Lives Movement. The level in it is that there was a lot of lessons, and they them now. And so definitely much more cool. That's been impressive. What is it about what you're, especially really sees this moment?
About this time, adjust and move and be like, they're true planning strategies and mobilize kids. Usually, these look like me. Make protests, get it open. Rights and allies and freedom, justice, stage. Now, Black people like in a tapestry, unified to civil rights. Tapestry is happening, and it's happening. I was talking about kids. I saw those kids offenders when packing with people with batons held up to skate them. Most kids, my kids skate, are like me, right? But I saw unity. Literally come in, they got really frisky back. I don't want to speak without soldiers against it. If the proletariat show you work for, we are to make display of the evil that has happened. It makes me that has equality, barely giving it to people who don't look.
You made an interesting notion about the skate. Anybody who's white, but who are out
there. Tapestry of people.
The tapestry of people.
The Amish. Yeah. I didn't even saw the news.
Who told them? I was like,
I was so thankful. My heart.
You're saying all these different thought issue would resonate. It reminds me of your music. Music is unapologetically pro-Black, apologetically.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like fan across multicultural people, your music is able to resonate, despite that you are also really talking to your.
Yeah, I'm proud to be me. I like me, Black people. I'm not making no apology. in the door, love us. Love me. It has nothing of others. Very good East Indian cousins, Neil. They all next door. So if you're in Atlanta, you know about a guy from Atlanta. You know about, next door. These guys are good to me. Went to India, brought my incense, these beautiful elephant characters. He's Indian. I've learned being Indian from when you're truly who you are. How could you not love it? Like, I'm a part of people. If I'm from the common humanity, I say that proudly, apologetic, not from a place someone to be below you, people not to, I like you. I got plenty of heroes who don't look like me. Fortune Brown in my basement. He's a hero. He doesn't have to, what I mean? But I like people who like me aren't great. Didn't say good. Didn't say good enough. I said great from a great and mighty people. And if you kept, then maybe I'm bad. But simply who kept it because And I'm on there with a bunch of of course, my rap guy from Brooklyn. We're to swamp people and I come up and stagger and I start smacking the room and say, "What common with this?" I just walked out. I'm my grandparents from Africa. I grew up more on those shows. I think across culture lines and across racial lines, people identify just because typical American. You know what I mean? I have some special, not I'm special. I been to Morehouse, Canada stuff, and that helps. But ultimately, the nature with people is that regular guy. My best friends and my guy from Brooklyn. So I think that I have the ability not to look at race or ethnicity, but to look at it and love it without wanting to co-opt it.
What you're talking in a very and way is really allies, and you have. It sounds like you have a lot of really great that are in your life. Moment, I question constantly. You have how to be do. I've had conversations with white people, really good friends of mine. So I appreciate you, but hold on, Black. But with that being said, what would you somebody who wants to be a good ally?
White corporation with that's allyship. Ground level. If you're just working, you don't know what to do here in the plumber, grab a man who doesn't look like a woman and teach them that. That's allyship isn't just throwing big money somewhere, but on a basic level. My accident, the man named caught my son a call with a very front end that this guy Keith and the police officer privately, I just because I accident for my Keith is the opportunity, and me and this man, I'm literally a white man given a pre and congregation who's me about and the importance of in your child doesn't happen if we're not open to happen. So an allyship, people doesn't have an organization, but you do have faith, trust, look like person to educate. Ally is not saying what I do. The black organization is saying what am I. It's calling you. The next thing you're going to be an extra set of hands. Get to go to the black people, but it does mean I'm going to show up. And empathy and care. I'm in that space. When in that space, the people who are willing to be in that space, something right here, their money problems have now that are erupting could have been 96, 2006, 2016, not to because right. And after the brothers and sisters, you have to be the literal national markers. If that I'm talking a human being, it past any difference to all of that other. So have allies because war. We have a brother. There's no need to have a because there's war. 18-year-old thing that's in policy, much deep 500 years. That takes white. But I hope fighting together.
Having this great conversation, a lot watching, because it's happening flash. 1 minute up this fired up, everybody's, and then the momentum. How we're watching now, keep this conversation going.
Take the people who live within 10 and start you can, and then connect with that maybe 50 miles in another city or other places. Connect with people and just all do a little bit, do a lot. All of us do a little to do. No one will have to do a lot.
That's aware. We all do a lot.
Has to do a lot.
Nobody has to do a conversation like I enjoy conversation with you. Yes, the mutual society. Thank you, and thank you for on the ground. Tell that a lot of time of crisis have those understand that really are. This is all. So thank you for inspiration. All the words are adding more importantly to this. We don't have to get. I'm going to tie this on to.
Okay.
We spent the past at a mic. We got amazing little baby. What did conversation? Importantly to me, what do you make?
Always expect from is blunt. People look at him as a real credible voice. He's honest about those and honest about. I think when those that's going to all conversation. I'm with you. This at time is welcome. What took us to always ground zero to have again conversation in this country.
Why do you think this time? This before people still now act like, help me understand. What's time for
things that I thought the George Floyd one, yeah, and we've seen there was no people, nevertheless, but there wasn't one where Stretch Armstrong to find wasn't what always just stuck is the look on officer as he on George Floyd's. It was as if this were remorse, any of that killed a man in the street. So I think situation, the fact we had all dealing from Breonna, though the certainly a storm at what happened to Christian Cooper, all to this moment. Finally, naysayers a problem. I mean, there was nothing said, and everybody who was up this moment now is the world now because of COVID. If we address this,
I've never seen 20, 30 white people for interesting because I'm like, well, dude, I don't know. It's a powerful. I'm realizing now that this is an honest. How did we African Americans rise to meet a moment? Accept the fact that a couple million new allies. That's new for us.
I'm glad you use leadership. That's been put in a leadership, and that's being put in the education. We are long. It's about race. We're not here. We're not here. Leadership different. Look, depending on leadership, we are issues. We're accustomed to. Mind if we continue to that direction. I think is a relay race to pass the baton. You to be here's what needs to happen is that you got to be on it just as hard, because if you're not, that's why we fly in pattern that we've been hundreds of years to wreck this issue. So we have where is the most useful allyship. A lot of people throw around. We see it around to focus effort. More importantly, about it. I can't double-sided or other-sided, if I may make up a word, that you give that Black Lives Matter, except for my organizational chart. I'm right. That's great. Sharing racism, right? What it is when in your building, people in this building, this seat. So the allies that you can change the structures of your company, of wherever it is, influence here.
The people when situation are white to be to care more, but I don't of all the time. The way to it is it's to someone. Educate me. It's costly to me, emotional from a time point of view. So nobody would go up to somebody, teach me Russian in 5 minutes. And by the way, hold on a second. Like Judaism, which in America is just, and you in 5 minutes, and also you feel bad about it in therapists too. That's stop. I would love to say I made me 14th feed crow, eat white fragility, and 52. We can have all because homework, but don't feed her to Google and know about cryptocurrencies or whatever you find that or any black person never heard of, or you can educate you want to know, say something to you. Got to tell you, mad crazy stand. But you to death. I'm so proud of you. I almost as Patrick. I'm proud that exists. You strength to continue what you're doing, what you're saying, face of opposition to the has to listen to you. The strength when they weren't listening.
I guess the vision is that we don't. And I come from a line who were just like this. My grandmother like this old phrase we taken till they hear you. Opposite to do the opposite of that is that I can't even afford that. I don't know their mode, but for what's right, but to try the right side, but to speak for people who don't have a platform as large. Did it for me.
Invite people who want to have these conversations, spoken, not as well read as you might be, but who really conversation.
Start from a point of honesty about what some of this from why you. I think if you take anything on race, you get older, learning. You get like your 30s, a lot of that. But my always start from the honest self-awareness. Try to get accomplished by getting into those. You come from where it's about a certain way about conversation and ask yourself that you really want to be.
There's a 21st century that every empathy. I mean, people, every kind of human being are with each other now. That because of just world economy against people, China and just the world. To have a mindset to understand where people are coming from, the skills, black folk and brown folk, everybody trying to convert to you, make you better. It'll make your life. Now, are you?
People can maybe just say support black, right? The local black journals, what changed my life and what right path in this business. A member of the National Association Minority Journalism in the work, job fairships, scholarships. There changed lives, changed a lot of people, and Roland Martin O'Brien is for people who are a part of this organization to build there. And so it's on us and usher of young journalists. I get it really just when at just newsrooms look like we're under the pandemic right now. So there's a lot of us who have lost their, a lot of companies are down. A reason to believe, and it's done so much for continues to do that for us. That's the isolation has changed my life and many others.
Second that is a beautiful groups I want to support as well. I want to say to you for your leadership, for your courage, for your team, all that type of stuff. And support the sisters, and let's keep this conversation going. Much.
And this is a pleasure.
I got bad for you. People all across powerful. This fixes every situation. Systemic law 160 days to come this right. Get the talking if we keep working, and we can reshape. It can be done. It's been we can better. The hope that your phone is full of shots. We've been trying to give you to taking action. Game ends, not end. We got to keep going. We are in an important moment in history. What you do is 2020 is talked about for 2 years, many years. The future's not written when I do and what I decide. So I want to give special thanks to that we've had Elaine Killer, Jamel Hill. Make sure to visit 50% Play the Power of Money. Visit my organization, reforms.com. We're changed. Let's think about it, not just talk. I'm Van Jones.